I grew up in North Carolina, went to Salem, North Carolina. I became deaf due to meningitis when I was 8 months old. In a way, it affected my family because they didn't have any experience with hair loss. So I was the only one in the family, in the community that was deaf. So it was a new territory for them because they didn't know what was out there, what the outcomes were, what the opportunities. Pretty shortly after my diagnosis, I was able to get the cochlear implant, my very first cochlear implant when I was 3 years old. I got the single channel as part of an FDA study. So, and thankfully, before the cochlear implant, I knew something called cute speech. It's a phonetic system of communication. It's based on phonics and the language of the home. So I was visually able to see my family cue. So I had language before I got the cochlear implant. So when I got activated with the cochlear implant, I already had a language base, and then I could begin to verbalize and articulate speech and language after that. I was kind of born in the right time, the beginning of the technological revolution that we're in. So I was really born in the very early parts of it, and I'm extremely fortunate to be a part of that experience from a very early stage. I actually started off in a private school because the city would not pay for my Q-speech transliterator. So my parents put me in a private school so that they could fight the battle in court. And within 2 years they won, and then the county agreed to pay for my Q-speech transliterator as part of the accessibility and advocacy. And so in 2nd grade, I transitioned to a mainstream public school where I could be in a classroom with all of my peers, all of the neighborhood kids. So that was really important to me and to my family to be a part of that community. I took high school as my opportunity to first experience classroom learning without a transliterator. I went to Wake Forest University in Winston-Salem. I would love to bring the laptop into the classroom. Now, this is 1998. Not everybody has a laptop in the classroom. So I was very creative in that regard. So I brought in a laptop into the classroom, and I was able to type the notes and look at the teachers at the same time. And so that really trained me to gain more independence. By senior year, Google had created document collaboration services, and then that became, in some ways, a live captioning tool. Because I would see the notes that my friends were taking, and I would be able to see her typing them live. And then I would input my suggestions as well. So it became bespoke accessibility as that went along, if you will. These kids today don't know how good they have it with their technology. We've got the amazing opportunity to use technology as a means for communication. A few years ago, I was invited to the White House to the first ever Twitter town hall with President Obama and Chuck Dorsey. So I pulled up my phone and I typed Twitter town hall, and my audience was live tweeting what Obama and Chuck Dorsey were saying. So that in some ways became a captioning tool because I was able to get the summary of what was being spoken. And so right there in the White House, I was like, wow, Twitter can be used as a captioning tool for conferences and for big audiences. As somebody who runs the Leadership Opportunities for Teens program every summer, that's a loft program that I do. I've been doing it for 8 years with Ken Levinson. And I'm seeing teenagers who come with cochlear implant, and they've had them since infancy, and they can't even tell that they have hair loss. They're extremely mainstream and extremely capable, and their language and their speech is outstanding. I'm really excited for AGBEL to be a household name, for families of children who are deaf and hard of hearing to know that there's opportunity and there's hope, and that there's a chance to succeed, just as they dreamed of their child before they were born or lost their hearing. And AGBEL can provide access to those opportunities and experiences so that the parent understands their choices and are fully informed. And not only that, they get the services that they have rights to. One thing that my parents believed in was giving me a lot of rope. And I had a lot of opportunity to try what works. And they didn't stick with one decision. And they let me inform the decision path for them with what was working for me, what I was comfortable with. They never said, you must do X. I described how I wanted to proceed as if it were my own idea. But I'm sure that my parents somehow in the conversations influenced me into certain decisions. But ultimately they made me feel empowered in making those decisions so that I felt confident going into what I've chosen as my destiny. It's really about trying new things and be willing to take a risk and know that there's a safety net. If it doesn't work, you can try something else. And there's a huge support network here at AG Bell of people who can say, this worked for me, this didn't work for me, but it may work for you. So there's an amazing treasure trove of resources and experiences to pull from.